curious, like, how do you see music theory influencing a musicianship experience with like an instrument, or from the standpoint of writing? Like, does music theory impact the way that you write music?
For me, it's more about my ear. I went to my ear and how things make me feel, and basically guessing, you know, and I liked being surprised by, oh, that's a nice chord. Wow, I don't even know what that is. I mean, there's chords I couldn't even tell you what they are because I sort of threw away the theory kind of aspect. And I mean, I can read a little bit, but all of my compositions for film and TV commercials, it's all about the ear. And you know, and having an idea, oh, I'd like it to go maybe here, and it's more of a wandering thing. It's not a mind thing. It's guided by a feeling, you know.
Yeah.
One of the times that that really hit home was I was doing a Porsche commercial, funny enough, and the director, Ken Arledge, great guy, he said, you know, there's this feeling when you're in that Porsche, and all the footage was this Porsche driving in the desert in Utah. And he said, you know, that feeling when you're going 180 miles an hour, and it was his car, and he was, and he was like, this is an amazing feeling. And I just took his energy of what he wanted. And I remember having a guitar in my hand and just sort of feeling what he was talking about, and you know, and having just enough skill to pull it off. And but it captured, you know?
Yeah, I love it. No, because riding at a high speed in a Porsche is so different than, say, high speed in a Mercedes.
Right.
Like Mercedes like hunkers down to the road and you feel like you're like in a pod zooming along the road. Whereas a Porsche, kind of feel like it almost sort of straddles the road a little different, and like, so you feel like a little bit of that wiggle, but it's fun and scary.
Yeah, it's like being in a bobsled.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great example. It is like being in a bobsled. No, I love that. That's really great. Do you have any like favorite pieces? You mentioned the Porsche project. Are there other projects that you're like, wow, I can't believe that flowed out of me into that particular storytelling example?
Well, I could say everything that I've got out there, I'm proud of, because in one sense or another, or one moment or another, I was able to connect with the director, because music is so subjective. I mean, I could really like something and someone else may not, you know, or they, and a lot of it is keying into what the director wants.
You've kind of become director of your own project recently, right?
Absolutely.
Are we calling it a YouTube album, YouTube series, YouTube?
Well,
or is it more of an album and you've done a bunch of really cool videos?
Oh, thanks.
Go with, yeah. So I'd love to hear about that project, kind of how it started and vision and stuff.
The first song I wrote was Keys to the Kingdom, for the record. And I thought, oh, it's such a great, thank you. And so that song, I wrote it and I was really inspired. And because there was nobody around and there was nothing else to do, I mean, you know, everybody's locked in their homes, and the song came out really quickly. And I wrote it within a day and recorded it and stayed really focused on the lyrics. I wanted to have a complete image from start to end. And just for the sake of it, like as an exercise, say, can I write a song that today I can say 100% I'm happy to sing that anytime, anywhere, you know, and it feels good. And I wanted it to be fun to play and fun to sing. And that was my motivation. And so I wrote another one. I had another title, Winds of War. And so I said, oh, that's a good title. So
another good song. Yep.
Thank you. And so I wrote that one, and it came out really quickly and really easily with not much effort. And I made a point not to scrutinize anything too carefully, but be really focused at the same time, you know?
Nice. Yeah. And then the videos are pretty fun. How did you kind of come up with your technique and
thank you,
voice for that? Yeah, because they're each kind of different from each other, but there's a similar theme to them too.
Yes. Well, that was just out of necessity.
Okay.
So the first one, Keys to the Kingdom, I just put my camera in the room and played it, and you know, and it's just that. And Terry, because of all his videos, along with the track, he would send me the video of him playing the track.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
When he sent me the audio files. So I had all of him playing every song and through editing and knowing different takes and so I put all of him together. But then I also wanted to add some effects on it somehow to make it just a little something. Like what was that? You know, did I see? So it took me a while, and thanks to YouTube and help videos, you know, it was like, how do you do this? You know, how do you make, you know, trails or, you know.
Yeah, kind of trippy, Tai.
Right.
Get a little out there. It's fun. I can tell the Zeppelin influence in there too.
Yeah, well, you know, you're going to get that, I guess, you know, but I take it as a compliment. I mean, hey, if it sounds like Zeppelin, great. I'm not trying to sound like
I'm thinking more like visually, like you were starting to push some envelopes there. I can tell like you were having fun with the toys.
Yeah, I was.
Or the keys to the kingdom, for the pun, you know.
Exactly. Exploring the kingdom of video production. But for the rest of them, I had my phone in my hand, and the first one was on my bike, and I can just riding with no hands around the neighborhood and just filming myself like this and seeing. I mean, I was thinking, I don't know if this is going to work. You know, I don't know if this is going to look good or look too amateur or whatever. It didn't matter. I mean,
I haven't checked yet. Have you released these on, say, Spotify and stuff like that too, or have you just done them on? You have, okay.
I have. I've put them on. I used a company called DistroKid, and it was really easy. You upload it there, and it goes to you can choose whatever digital platform. So it's on Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, iTunes, Apple Music, and you can track everything. You know.
So from the MAM perspective, have you managed to generate any revenue from releasing it on the different platforms?
No, I think my iTunes. I've sold 3 copies on iTunes.
Okay.
So far. So I think my DistroKid bank says my balance is like $20 or something like that.
All right. Nice.
And the good thing is about this day and age is that the upfront cost is very low if you have a home studio, as long as you can make good quality stuff. And the return is, you know, like 5,000 to 1 compared to the old days where you would be $300,000 in debt out of the gate just releasing the record, and you know,
and all these packs of CDs and
packs or records or whatever it is, you know, all the product, and then the promotional department, and then the, you know, all the different advertising departments. So a band would be in the hole, you know, up to, you know, 500 up to $1 million before they even sell a record. And so, and then the percentages of what the band would get as far as their writers and publishing share, the record companies took a lot of the publishing. So artists were in a worse position as far as what they had to overcome, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars first, and then get a small percentage of.
So speaking of return on investment, ROI, like, do you have any idea about roughly what your overall expenditure was for creating an album, like the way that you did?
Apart from rent, you know, because I mean, I did it here. This is where I work from home. So maybe a set of guitar strings.
It's great though. I mean, it's basically with what you had on hand then. So I gotta ask you, I'm really curious about the painting behind you.
Oh.
Is that yours?
Yes.
So you paint too.
I do. As a hobby. I've never sold a painting. I mean, I made a little website, TaiVarePaintings.com. And I've just put all the paintings I've done, but it's so rewarding when you can get something, you know, and it translates, you know.
Are there more in your studio there? Can you show us that?
Yeah. Here's one I did when I was in class. The exercise was to copy some masterworks. This is a Renoir copy of you know.
Beautiful.
Here's another one I did from a photograph I took in Italy. I don't know, is there glare? Inspired by a Da Vinci pencil drawing. This, I don't know if this is okay to show, but this was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This was from 1860. Alexander Cabanel. The original had angels all over here.
Yeah. So you painted those in your first painting class?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. I did. What can I say?
A little bit of talent. Yeah.
Thank you.
So So for you, where are you, what are your goals moving forward? Like, well, either with your music or your painting or your own compositions or things that you're doing for other people? What do you see as like kind of your track you're heading down now as we're all kind of groping at the unknown?
Yeah. Well, it would be fun to play this record live. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
And I've been getting into more sound work because I love sound. I do sound design as well. I did a lot of sound design over the years. Was hired just as a sound designer for several car jobs. You know.
Really important.
Yeah. Yeah. Inside the car, outside the car, inside the car.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Ella. Thank you. This has been so much fun. This is my guinea pig too. I mean, that's my first interview. So
Great. Awesome.
I've been behind the curtain for all these years, you know, and so doing this record, and I really appreciate you and ma'am, and say hello to Nan for me, and Tonya. Hi, Tonya. Yeah.
Tanya's a big fan of yours, so I'm sure she'll appreciate the shout out.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, take care of time. We'll talk to you soon.
You too, Ella. Okay, take care. Bye.
Take it together and talk about the weather and love is life.